I ain't gonna lie. Somebody probably think I'm out here finna film my goddamn suicide tape on some shit, bro. This looks crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. I used to think that I was this chill, nonchalant, kind of go with the flow guy. When overall, I think I was just inconsistent. I honestly didn't realize the effect of that until I ended up fumbling two connections. Well, let me not say fumble because you know what I'm saying. I feel like it's a fumble, but some people would argue just like, what is a fumble? What the fuck am I talking about? Let's get straight to it. I I used to really struggle with, and I do somewhat now still, being inconsistent and kind of fading in and fading out of people's lives. Um, it would kind of be like I wouldn't ghost, but I wouldn't commit either. So I don't struggle with this as much in friendships, but it's definitely still there a little bit. But relationships is where it really is. I'll come in a little bit and I'll have my fun. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You want me there? It's exciting, and then I'm like, okay, I'll withdraw and I'll pull back, and I won't ghost, but I won't fully commit. I won't fully be there for the role, and I kind of leave people in this state of limbo, especially with like if when it comes to do a decision with somebody else. I think indecision is the right move a lot of the times, and I'll kind of leave people in limbo on the answer just because like I feel like I can't provide that answer to them. And then like I said, I pop up when it's convenient. Like I don't know how to explain that, but the story time that I'm about to give you should explain that to you perfectly. There were two specific connections that I remember kind of fumbling. Um, one of them, let's call her Becca, and then the other one, let's call her. Damn, how people be coming up with fake names? Okay, Becca and Trinity. Let's do Becca and Trinity on some shit. So I met Becca. Met the first time I started texting Becca was actually I was a fucking teenager, fam, and I was on Yubo. And I don't know if y'all know what Yubo is, but Yubo is a clutch app. I ain't gonna lie, especially during COVID, fam. Clutch as fuck. But I met her like a little way before that, and we started talking. We had a good conversation, and I could come to find out she's not from America. So I'm like, oh shit, where are you from? And she lets me know. She's like, oh, I'm from Denmark. I'm like, oh, some foreign shit. You know what I'm saying? I love me some foreign shit. So so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, ain't no problem here. And she's like, yeah, I'm just in Dallas because I've got family out here and I'm out here every summer. And I'm like, word indeed. And like, I'm feeling her already. Like, you know what I'm saying? When the vibe is right, the vibe is right. You feel me? So we end up like, we get like real close. But at this point, she had already went back to Denmark. So we're like talking every night, through FaceTiming every night. We talking about like, oh, like catch a plane. At fucking damn, how old am I? I'm like maybe 16 at this point. Um, and overall, like it's just a really good connection. Like it's you know what I'm saying. Like I honestly couldn't complain. But then I get in my own way. I start to feel like the connection is a little bit like too much. Like oh, like this is different. This is. And I start to withdraw a little bit, and I don't like ghost her and just not talk to her anymore. But I sprinkle in just a little bit, enough to kind of keep the attention and the enticement that she had. But at this point, I think she started to recognize the bullshit. So she starts pulling it back, whatever, and then she ends up getting a boyfriend. And I think I'm maybe 17, and I think I low key threw a fit. I threw a fit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck, like what happened to me? Like what's going on here? And this is toxic as fuck as young me. I ain't gonna lie. Um, but then she's like, "You're the one that backed out on me, and you were backing up." And then I was kind of, I was starstruck. I didn't know what to say, so I just kind of I let that play out. They had their relationship. It didn't work out in the end. I was low key happy, and of course, I'm right back at it. You know what I'm saying? And this time, it's different. We're older. I'm going into college. Um, I think me and my ex had just broke up at this point. I'm like, okay. this is the flow. I'm fucking with you again. And per usual, I pull back. So at this point, she's like, okay. And y'all might know me as Mac. She knew me as Blake. She's like, Blake, you're pulling back like entirely too much and it's hurting me. Like you keep doing this in and out thing, and I can't do that shit no more. So we kind of at this point she started pulling back and I started like running after. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And it was okay too late. She was like, I just can't like I wouldn't be able to forget about that shit. Like it would be in the back of my mind if we were ever like even start messing around for real. And then that was just that. And like I said, fumbling connections of my own fears. Let me get the story too before I kind of break it down for y'all. So the second girl, what I say her name was? Damn, I don't know, but I want to change it to Respucia. She ain't look nothing like Respucia, but I want to change it to Respucia. So Respucia, this is just such a Gen Z story, fam. I think I remember posting on my story or something like that. No, she posted, and I'm like, oh, like she's some fine shit at this point. And this is still, I think this is like when I'm 17. So pause. Do I have to pause on it if I'm talking from 17-year-old me's perspective? I'm gonna just say pause just in case it sounds crazy. But at the time, I'm like, okay, like I like this. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So of course, I comment on the Snapchat, get a little conversation, get it sparked up a little bit, and then I gotta post some things on the story, some selfies on the story, just so she's enticed a little bit. Then you start some more conversation, and you get the you get the I think you're cute, and you you carry on with all the conversations. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened with Respucia. Uh, Man, Vespuccia was real nigga. I ain't gonna lie. When I first met her, she didn't have a boyfriend, and then she got one, but it was no big deal because we weren't really close. We just kind of like was acquaintances. We spoke here and there, and then they ended up breaking up. And I think she slowly started talking to me more. And she knew I ain't gonna lie. She low key called me on. She was like, I feel like you're the type to kind of withdraw on people, and I don't like going for that. And I was like, no, that is not me whatsoever. And of course, I apologize, but that was me. That was me. And we start talking, conversating a whole lot. We end up getting close. And then, like I said in the last story, I pulled back. I pulled back. I think I stopped calling her as much. And she would try to call me, and I would kind of let the hell ring out. Like I would literally sit there and just kind of look at the ringer. Or and then she would text me, and then I wouldn't text back as much. And it was just, I think I felt like the fear that everything was being too good, like it was just going too perfect. But we're gonna get to that after the story. So then she texts me, and she's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" Like she was more direct with it. She was like, "Why do you do that shit?" And I'll tell her like honestly, I don't know. I think I just be battling my own problems, and I end up getting in my head about everything. And she's like, well, I don't want that around me. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. So she backs up. She ends up talking to another dude. They end up getting together. And then I end up getting with my ex. And we know how that played out. L nigga, man. Oh my God. I'm such a bad. Oh my God. My track record is terrible. My track record is so bad. I'm L nigga. L past. Uh, but she's gonna get a boyfriend. I get a girlfriend. And then later down the line, or actually, is that before that? No, backtrack. That was before that. So this is before I got a girlfriend. But she ended up getting a boyfriend after she told me like she didn't want to deal with that shit. And then I kind of stayed there because I was willing to give this one a chance. Like I thought in my head, I was like, okay, like, I can do this. I can do this. Because at this point, I knew the problem, and I recognized that I had the problem. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll be in it. I'll be in it. So they ended up breaking up, and I gave her time to grieve or whatever. It sounds crazy, but then I was like, okay, like I want to be there. I feel like I can do it. So we start talking again, conversating, and I'm in college, so I'm closer. So we're like, okay, well, let's work something out here. Um, and then it got too real. It got too real. It got too real, and it got scary for me. and I started getting real inconsistent again. I would pull back. I would stop like responding back as fast. I wouldn't call as much. It was just those little things that I wouldn't do as much because the it scares me, and that's that story. So now I'm gonna get into the after what I realized about this stuff. So these were two stories where it's it's my inconsistency, and I had to stop and really ask myself what it is that makes me feel like that. Like, because it's not me just being inconsistent because that's my character or that's who I am. It's me being inconsistent because I'm scared, because I have a fear of like relationships. I have a fear of commitment. Who would have fucking thought? Ah, surprise! So I think what it really was, it was like fear kind of described. Blah, blah, blah. I can't fucking talk. It was fear disguised as like control. I was I was scared of. I get scared of making the wrong decision. I get really scared of making the wrong decision when it comes to being committed to somebody, and I think that's just because. And ooh, I hate to say a shot to my parents because this is not a shot to them, but I think it's because of the way that I witnessed love growing up. I think sometimes I feel like it can be scary and unpredictable, and at times like feel like a trap. And I don't think, well, that's just how I feel. I can't help that. But that's what it feels like. So for me, when it comes to connection, I try to I try to mold it and perfect it the best I can. And I think I lie to myself when I say that, because I've had connections all around the book, and it's like the thing that I'm always scared of is just picking wrong. Like that's the fear. It's picking wrong, or after picking wrong, getting hurt or hurting somebody, and especially after my ex. Like after that shit, bro, I feel like I destroyed Shorty world. So it's like I, I took a step back. I was like, man, I don't want to hurt nobody else. So it's hard to want to lean into connection. Like I have no problem with like some shallow surface level shit. I can even like we can be super close homies, be talking deep, or we can be like you can be my homegirl. We in the bed or whatever the fuck going on. But it's like as soon as I feel like the pressure is on me, I get scared because I'm like, okay, well, like I start getting too logical and analytical and thinking, okay, well, what if this is the wrong decision, and what if this is the wrong person and it doesn't work out? And it's like I won't just allow myself the experience. I won't allow myself the experience, and it's because I don't want to allow myself an experience if it's not gonna like lead to something great. I think like, ooh, a lot of people kind of say like relationships, you take them and you learn from them, and that's true. But part of me wants to control that. Like it's like I don't want to take the chance of being with someone who either I end up hurting or they hurt me in the end. So I try to craft this perfect person that can never live up to my standards. That way I can't really ever be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have, and then when I do feel like I have that connection, I try to fizzle it out because it's like, okay, well, if I fizzle it out and I do all these things, I can't hurt it and it can't hurt me. Like, and I can back up from it, and I'm free. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. That's how it is sometimes now. I still kind of struggle with it here and there, but I've gotten better. I've gotten way better. But I guess in those times, I guess you could just say I just wanted the access without the accountability. And it was like me trying to prevent the hurt was the hurt itself. So if you feel like you're in my shoes, don't do that. Or if you feel like, ooh, I kind of relate to that a little bit, lean in, bruh. Lean in. Just connection connection is scary. Connection is scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. But when you allow yourself that shit, bro, it's warm and it's like it's giddy. Sure, it's scary and it's unknown and you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. But that nigga, that's with everything. That's with everything. And look at you. You probably still alive, still kicking. You might not be in the greatest situation or the situation that you want to be in, but I guarantee the last time that you felt like the world was gonna end or the world was gonna cave in on you or some relationship was such a big deal, you came out the other end of it alive. Somewhat probably mentally and emotionally okay. That's up for debate, but for the most part, you're still alive. You're still here, right? So lean in. I've been working on just kind of leaning in on my connections and talking when I when I feel like there's a problem. I still struggle with this a lot now. Like there's some friends that I need to have conversations with that I've been putting off because it makes me feel like I'm getting too deep into the friendship or too deep into a relationship. But I can't control that, and I don't want to keep controlling that. I want to allow myself to form these deep relationships with people, and it's not like I can't. Like I know I can, and I have them with certain people. But I guess when it comes to relationships, like boyfriend and girlfriend, when it comes to that, I get so scared, terrified. I don't even know. Like I said, it's I feel like it's the way that I grew up seeing it, and like now it's scary. And I think what's even crazier about it is, in a way, I'll probably get into this on the next episode. I feel like I have to perform for love sometimes. So sometimes when it comes to me, like if someone just kind of loves me for me, and I don't have to like perform or like really go out of my way to like get that person, I guess, then I feel like it's like the fuck this shit weird as fuck, nigga. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you? Like, I'm supposed to try and earn that, and if I don't earn that, then that's not what I'm used to. And I think that's just because of how I grew up. Like, I, I think a lot of the times I didn't really get praise or felt like I was super loved emotionally unless I did something good or something drastic to warrant that. And not in a bad way. Like it's not like they did a good job. They did a good job overall. Like I hate to sound like I'm bashing my parents. They did a good job overall, but obviously like there's shortcomings, and I hate that that's one of them. But like it's one of the ones that I'm kind of recognizing a little bit. I think so. I think that's why it scares me when connection kind of just comes to me naturally, and it's just because it's not what I'm used to. Like if I don't have to like chase it or try to earn it, then you know what I'm saying, it's weird. It's different. But I say all that to say, if you were someone who feels like you're kind of in this position, I want first of all you to know that people do not owe you patience. One, inconsistency, that shit hurts more than clarity. Be honest. Just be honest. Even if you feel like it's gonna hurt somebody, bro, just be honest. Watch how you say it, but be honest and say what you have to say. Just don't 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 be in and out of people's lives. Like if I could go back and redo it over in those situations, I wouldn't change my feelings, but I would say like, hey, here's how I feel, and this is why I feel that way, right? Because then you give the other person a fair chance to plead their case if they want to plead their case or decide if they want to stay in that, right? But when you leave them in this gray area, they don't even know what's going on. They can't react, they can't help you in a way, they can't reaffirm you and tell you like, hey, I'll be here and you don't have to worry about me being maybe overbearing on the connection or me being like too pulling back or whatever the problem might be, right? So talk, speak, communicate. Just say people can't closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths do not get fed. Well, yeah, that's all I got. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Business Something Fam. Trying to some new shit, season 3 shit. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's really not even that cold too. I thought it was gonna be cold as fuck, but it's chilling. I like this little scenery, so this might be a new spot. I might try this during the daytime. And if you do the shit that I said in this episode, I'm not judging you. If you're on the receiving end of this shit, don't accept that shit. If you are on the receiving end of someone being inconsistent and fading in and out, I'm sorry. Everyone says this, but they're showing you who they are. They are showing you who they are in that moment. That might not be their whole character, but that is who they are right now. They can't help that. It's probably just it's their own emotions, probably getting ahead of themselves, right? So you can either try and talk to them about it or leave. Because at the end of the day, you don't owe anybody. You don't owe anybody that time and that patience when it comes to getting certain answers, especially when the answers involve you, right? It's different if it's just a person. I'm making a decision for myself, but if I'm making a decision that could possibly affect me emotionally and then another person as well, you owe that person that conversation. That's all I got though. I hope y'all fucked with that. That's pretty much episode 1 of season 3 of Missing Something. You feel me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's episode 2, but like it's really 1 because episode 1 is really just like a, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god, bro, I might be OCD or some shit. I'll follow with y'all in the next one. The next one gonna be a banger too. I'm gonna talk about the flip end of this where I y'all tune in. Y'all tune into the next one if you want to know.